Hello everybody and welcome to my YouTube channel, Dream of Crafts. My name's Deanna. Today we'll be working on week number 52 of my 52 weeks of Christmas. It's probably going to be two parts. The first part, we're going to be building the cover for, it's going to be like kind of like a journaling photo mini album for Christmas. It's going to be one that you can keep track of your gifts, your shopping, and all that kind of stuff in it, your meal planning, kind of like a planner type Christmas book. But you'll be able to maybe add some photos and some other things in there, room for your receipts and things like that. So we're going to start with two 12 by 12 sheets. I have cut them down to 11 and a half by, oh no, 10 and 3/4 high, and then kept the 12-inch length. So 10 and 3/4 by 12 inches. I've already pre-positioned a piece of double-sided tape there so we can butt these together. So we have one long sheet. And I'm going to add a little bit of art glitter glue here so I have a little bit of wiggle room, just in case it doesn't want to slide down very good. There we go. And I'm using a black card base just because I think that's going to go good with the paper that I selected. So push that down there. This is the textured cardstock, so I'm going to flip this over so my textured side's on the outside. Okay, I have cut two pieces of chipboard, 5 3/4 wide by 8 3/4 high. I've cut an additional two pieces of chipboard, 3/4 inch wide by 8 3/4, and one 4 3/4 wide by 8 3/4 wide. It's going to be like a tri-fold. So we're going to start with one of our 5 3/4 pieces. We're going to come 1 inch from the edge and 1 inch from the bottom to line up our chipboard here, just like that. So I'm going to add a couple pieces of score tape and then some glue. If I need my score tape, here we go. Just a couple to help hold it while the glue dries. And if you want to use all score tape, you can. That's totally up to you. I'm a glue person. I like my glues. So let's pull that off there. In this part today, we're just going to be doing, like I said, I'm going to do the binding of the book part, and then we'll put the decorative cardstock on the outside, maybe on the inside. But this will give us, and I'll probably upload the second half the same day. So it's just going to be two separate parts because it just makes it easier on me. So I'm getting my ruler here, lining it up. I'm going to butt that right up against there, like so. I'm going to flip this over a second. Give that a good press. Okay. Put that in there just a second. I'm going to line this back up here. Now for our second piece, it's going to be one of our 3/4 inches, and I want to stay 1/8 of an inch away from my other piece. I want a nice amount to be in between there. If you want to make it a little closer, you can, but I want to stay about 1/8 of an inch. So I'm going to put one piece of score tape down the center here, just to help hold that. I'm going to put a couple extra pieces of score tape right by this fold here, just so I know that that's going to be fastened good there for the next piece. There we go. Even that off there. Should have used my little tear thing there. There we go. All right. We'll peel this off. Just like that. We'll add some glue to this. I want these to adhere pretty good here. There we go. And I'm using the chipboard just for stability. This is going to be handled quite a bit through the holiday, so I want it to be able to hold up to the wear and tear of being used. Get my about 1/8 of an inch there, just like that. Eyeball that to make sure it's still about 1/8 of an inch. There we go. All right, perfect. Now we're going to come another 1/8 of an inch for our next piece, and that one's going to cover this center part. Now, when you gotta watch when you're lining up chipboard or other things to your where you tape your pieces together, because you want it to be not right on the edge of that. So we're good there. Add another couple pieces of score tape to this. Oops. Some. My garbage is over to my right, if you're wondering what I'm reaching for. It looks funny me going off camera now. With a good amount of glue here. And I'm using Art Glitter Glue, my favorite glue. There we go. Again, 1/8 of an inch. 1 inch up from the bottom there. So making sure my ruler is nice and lined up. There we go. Right in there. Like so. There we go. Perfect. There we go. And our next piece is going to be another 3/4 inch piece. These fall together pretty quickly. While I am doing this, I'm going to talk about, I found on Pinterest, I found some little journaling things for free, and they were for like your Christmas planner type thing. So I thought, well, that would be nice to put in, to include in this. So I printed those up and I set them somewhere handy here. Where did I set them? That's funny. I just sat them down just a bit ago. All right, I'll have to find them. Anyway, let's go another 1/8 of an inch from this. Keep our 1 inch down at the bottom. Just like so. Get it up there like that. Perfect. What in heaven's name did I do with those? I think sometimes I would lose my mind if I didn't keep it tight against my head. Wow, that is crazy. Oh my gosh. I literally just had them like in my, oh, there they are. Now I remember. So they were from thepolkadotposy.com, www.thepolkadotposy.com. And she has them bigger And then she has a smaller one, and it downloads them into box.com. If you haven't been there, that's a pretty nice place to store some of your things. I have an account there already because of some other businesses I use. They use box.com for their storage. So I printed this out at 92%, and just because I didn't need the full 100. I'm guessing the full 100% would do 2 of these. But the bigger one, it will cover a bigger space, of course. So this is from the smaller pack. These are free. And the thing I liked about them was I did not have to download an app on my computer to view them. I just was able to download them and print them in a PDF file. So it was nice. I like that. I don't like having to download a bunch of things on my computer to access a free element. If you say it's free, then just have it free. But yeah, so that is what I'm going to be using inside. www.thepolkadotposy.com, and it's got a little calendar, cards to send, Christmas budget. What else she got in here? She has Santa's supply inventory. So it's got stocking stuffers, wrapping presents, decorating the tree, menu planner with appetizers, relish, entrees, side dishes. You can get that all done. Santa's secret gift list. What's a gift? Who's it for? And where's it hidden if you hide your presents? And then it's got some blank ones that I'm going to add headings to for my own personal use. So those are going to be in addition to other things we're going to add. I thought this one was closer to the colors that I want to use in my book. There was also another one I found, and that's more in the teals and the lighter reds. And this one was from, I don't remember what, oh, here it is. It's TessieFay.com, www.tessiefay.com, TESSIEFAY.com. And then she had one too that I had printed up, but I love these colors, but the paper I decided to go with is not these colors. So maybe another book for somebody else, but for myself, this one's going to be different colors. So, all right, so now our last panel, which is the 4 3/4 by 8 3/4 high. I'm going to put that on. And it doesn't matter that this one is just the plain. It's all going to be covered up, so I don't care about whether it's white chipboard, black chipboard, plain chipboard. It doesn't matter to me. It's all going to be covered 100%. And I always look at my scrap chipboards too to see if I can utilize them first, but I just did not have the right sizes. Okay. So if you want to go to those other websites and look, and then maybe print up and be ahead of the game, or watch the other video and then go print them up, I will mention it again and put it in the description box for these videos here, just so everybody knows where to go. Pay them homage because these were not created by me. They were not created by me, so I don't want to take credit for it. I just happened to find them. Okay, I'm going to move this down so it's flatter. I'm going to do another 1/8 of an inch here. And put that on there. Put that up against there. Perfect. If it's off just a smidge, it's no big deal. Okay, let's go ahead. Now I'm going to let these sit a little bit because I don't want to bend them right away. All right. We're going to go in and we are going to cut this off at 1 inch here. So let me make a mark with my pencil. So we don't need this extra. Bring in my Cricut mat. I use my older mats for my Cricut. I don't throw them away until they're completely destroyed. Use a ruler that has a metal edge on there. So we're just going to go. I didn't even have to mark it. That's like exactly what I need. There we go. Perfect. Get that back out of my way. Okay. Now, slowly get this paper used to being bent up there a little bit. You kind of break the fibers of the paper a little bit. Get them used to it. Do the same over here. Flex them a little bit. Do a little bit of this and hopefully they won't crack. Do that to all four sides. Okay. Just down here. Get back into making my mini albums. I like making the mini albums. Done with the Christmas stuff, so this is a fitting end to it. You can use for the season. All right, that's good there. So I'm going to come in with some scissors here, and I'm going to follow my score lines here. I'm going to stay just a little bit out from there. Cut a square like so. I don't want to cut right to the chipboard because I want to make sure that end is able to be covered. Whoops, I'm out of line here. Here we go. There we go. Turn around. Sorry about that. Just kind of staying on the inside of that score line there. On the right side. Here we go. So and then I'm staying about a 1/16 of an inch. Away from the corner of the chipboard there. Just one more. Staying on the inside of my square. So I'm not cutting it too short. All right. Now what we can do is close those up and then I can see if I need to trim that down a little bit. So it looks pretty good. Even that one out. Same here, so we can even that one out. Fold that in. And that was actually looking pretty good. Fold this one in. There we go. That one in. That's looking pretty good. This one in. Looking pretty good. I'm just taking just another sliver off of there. Put these in. And this one in. There we go. All right. Okay. I'm going to lay some score tape around the outside of that edge there. Right over in here. Just along that edge. Okay. There we go. I'm also going to add glue to this too, so it's going to get both. There we go. Now, if you have a different way to cover your mini albums that you prefer, you go ahead and use that. This is just my method, and I'm not saying it's the right way or the wrong way, but it's the way that I like to do it. So, but if you have a way that you prefer, by all means, use that way. Let's see here, I got a little bit of overhang here. That's there we go. All right. I'm going to add some glue right along here. Soften that paper edge there. There we go. I'm going to start from the center and fold. What that tape does is helps hold that in place until my glue dries nice and good. I'm going to bring my corners in there and this one in here just to cover that edge. Let's go ahead and flip it. I like to do my long edges first, but then again, that's just a personal preference. Oops. There we go. And I'm going to start in the middle. Gently fold that over. Bring that edge in. Bring that edge in. There we go. Over here. Everything's the same. Go in the middle. Just like that. It's a beautiful edge there. There we go. And this one over here. Cover my glue here so it doesn't dry up in there. Okay, my center again, nice and easy. Okay. All right, so that is our full cover, nice and neat. I'm going to just gently, actually I'm going to start with my back part that's a little bigger. Just want to push in on those areas there. Start getting that to relax a little bit. There is no tape or glue. Well, on this side there is, but there's nothing that's going to go down in there and grab a hold. There we go. So I'm going to take my other end and gently press. Get that used to the idea. Just a nice and easy process. We don't want to tear it. We don't want to rip it. Nice and easy. Again. And if you let it dry a little bit better too, it'll hold a little better. You want to give in so much. So we got that, and we got this, and see, so we've got a trifold. I'm gonna let that dry a little bit more, but keep pressing it. So now our next part, we're going to cover this inside part. So I've chosen two 8.5 by 11s, and those are going to go right on here. And then we will cut this one down. Let me see where I want this here. I want this to be almost to the edge. I want it to be equal. Looks like I've got about 1/8 of an inch on each side there. So 1/8 of an inch there. And then here. So I'm going to mark this right there. I'm going to trim that off. And I will tell you the measurement in just 1 second here. So we have one 8.5 by 11, and then one 8.5 by 11. We are going to cut the length down to 7.5. So now we got 8.5 by 7.5. Okay. And this is just Hobby Lobby's regular cardstock. It's not heavyweight cardstock. It's just regular black. Just for the inside. And this is going to get covered up with decorative cardstock too. So. Okay. So I'm going to mix this up here. Just like that. Just go to the edge of the tape. There we go. Stuff on here. All right, so I'm going to add a couple pieces of tape here to help hold that there. I'm going to stay about 1/4 of an inch away from that edge. Here. One over here. These are just the more pressure points that will affect it, I think. So that's why we're doing this, right here. And if you just want to use glue, you can. This is just going to give me a little security that while my glue is drying, this is holding everything in place too. So that doesn't matter. There we go. Okay. If you want to put more tape on, you can. If you want to use wider tape, you can. We all have our preferences. Okay, let me set this aside just for a second while I get this glued up. All right. Glue paper, not the table. All right, make sure there's plenty of glue there. There we go. All right. There we go. Let's bring this back in. Okay. There we go. Now I want to line up on my left-hand side here. I'm not pressing anything down yet. Just kind of getting it lined up. Just like so. That is crooked. I'm going to pull it back up. There we go. There we go. Looks good. All right. Let's go ahead and start putting that glue on there and get those tape pieces to stick. And I tried to stay about 1/8 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch away from that outside edge so my glue didn't come pressing out all over the place. Use that tape. Perfect. All right. So now on this edge here, I can see my in there. And just catch the edge of it there so I can see. And I want to just start relaxing those fibers again. That next tab. My next one is over here. It's kind of hard for you. See, I don't know if you can see it or not. Oh yeah, there you can. See the line right there? At the top, black on black. It's kind of hard to see, but it is there. You can feel it with your finger. So I just want to get these starting to break in a little bit. Well, that glue is drying. If you move it too much before the glue dries, you're going to get puckers and stuff in your paper, and you don't want that. You don't want your paper to start buckling up. You want that to have a good opportunity to dry. All right. Okay, I'm going to take this end again, and I'm just going to start relaxing that a little bit more. I want to get used to the idea. Just a little bit. Okay. And then as you use it, it will break in too. So there we go. So we got outside cover. All right. So now for my cover piece, I'm going to be using, this is an older pack of Recollections. And it was the Joyful Christmas. And it's all the neutral kind of tones. And the reds are more burgundy, more like cranberry. And it's got the creams and the blacks. So I'm going to be using this. I chose 2 pieces of this. I chose the black polka dot. And I think I'm going to wrap that around my back and over these 2 spines and cross over into here. And then when I cover my next piece, then that will take up the rest. But this is, that way I think I'll be all right for there. So let's go ahead and trim off this edge here that we don't need. And then measure. Okay, so I want it to come almost to the very edge. We know this is 8 3/4. So I want, I think, let's see, 8 3/4. I think I'm going to go 8 5/8. So I'll have just like a 1/16 of an inch on each edge. So 8 5/8. I'm going to keep my 12-inch length here, I think. Let's see how that looks on there a second. Oh yeah, see, it gives me just a little bit on each end. I think they'll look nice. And I think I am going to let it extend over here that far. Yeah, it's going to give me a couple inches on each side, so that will work. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to get myself some black soot Ranger ink for my edge. I'm going to need my black soot sponge here. There it is. Find the right side. There we go. And I'm going to do up these edges here so that you don't see the white. do the tips of those just in case, but I don't need to do the whole edge because that's going to be covered. I'm going to look at the edge to make sure that I don't see any white. Looks pretty good. All right. Now I might use different ink for the other ones, but that's what I wanted for this black piece here. Yeah, I think that looks good. All right. So I think I might just put a couple pieces of tape on here too. Maybe right in the center here, just to maybe help hold it in place a little bit. There we go. That. There we go. Yeah, this is one of my favorite paper packs, and I can't even tell you the year that was out. I've had this paper pack for a long time, and I just use it for little projects here and there, and so I have quite a bit of it left, but I do like it, and if they re-released it, I probably would buy it again. Maybe I'll make, with the rest that I have after this, maybe I'll make a whole. Although I've got to start using up some of my papers. I just have way too many papers. If that's possible. Is it possible to have too much paper? All right. I can't help myself sometimes. I just, even though I know how much I have, I just sometimes just can't help but to get just a little bit more. Just that one. That's pretty. Okay. So I'm going to do about, like I said, it's going to be about 1/8 of an inch from the top and the bottom. Like that. There we go. Okay. And this is a nice weight paper. It's not real thin. It's a nice weight. And it has some of it's glittered, and so it's a real nice weight. There we go. Okay. Perfect. So we got the black, and then that'll be our sides. Maybe we'll add something on the back here too. Okay, so now we need, see how that starts to pull away, because I moved it before it was completely dry. So that's what I was talking about earlier. You don't want that pulling away. You want it to dry. Okay. All right. So now the widest point is going to be the left part of my book. So that is this here. And then this is going to overlap. So I want my short panel, which is going to be on my right, to have this on there, because this is going to be the top part. So we need, measure this. That's exactly what I was talking about, is those. pulling away from there. So let's press those back in there and let that continue to dry. Push it both ways. There we go. There. Okay. So now this section, remember, was, I want to say 4 3/4. Yes, it was 4 3/4. So I want it 4 5/8. So 4 5/8 wide by 8 5/8. 4 5/8 by 8 5/8. So let's go ahead and cut that. So we're going to cut our 8 5/8. Let's see here. No, it's not this side. Let me cut this off here. Okay. Get rid of that. Flip it. 8 5/8 because that's going to accommodate our whole look. I'm going to save this for pockets or something. 8 5/8 by 4 5/8. Okay. And then that should go on our short side. Perfect. Okay, now I got to remember to keep this upright. So this is going to go right on there just like that. Okay. So let me go ahead and get my other ink pad here. I think I'm going to use walnut stain. Let me see. Brush corduroy or walnut stain. We will try it on the back and see. Whoopsie. There we go. I'm going to go walnut stain. Okay, let's switch pads there. I'll do it on the back so you can see that it's like a chocolatey brown. Smudge all around this one. Bring that brown tones. Like that. And then that will go right on there. Okay, so let's go ahead and glue that down. And I won't decorate the inside yet because I haven't decided where exactly I'm going to put all the things on the inside yet. So we'll get this outside decorated here, then we'll be done for this video. All right. Perfect. Isn't that pretty? Pretty. Okay. And then this side was 5 3/4. So we want that one to be 5 5/8. I'm going to keep that trim on there. So 5 5/8. Just like that. Around the edge of this one with the same walnut stain. There we go. going to be this edge here, just like that. Add our glue. Oh, I should have put a ribbon on there for closure. We'll figure out something else. We'll figure out a closure of some kind. Figure it out. I was thinking ribbon, but that should have been underneath all of this for sure. All right. Now I have some tags that are included in this. This was in there too, and I fussy cut this out. I was going to use it on something else. But I like the seasoned greens. I like this. I like that Merry Christmas. It's pretty too. Let's go with that great big Merry Christmas. I think. Let's go ahead and cut that out a second. I was looking at this one too. That nice tag there. Let's go ahead and trim this out of there. Okay. I think this one is just like that. That. Maybe think of that on the back of that. I think we'll round the corners, take off that sharpness. That looks a little better. Smudge our edges, take away that white. I think that will look nice right down there. And if we still have room at the top, if we decide we want to add something else. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm going to stay about ½ inch up from the bottom and center between the marks. Yeah, maybe about not quite half. Let's do 1/4 of an inch. And then try to stay centered there. That looks pretty good. Let's not glue it on upside down now. Let's not do that. Yeah, just like that. That's a little better. Okay. Perfect. All right. So this goes like that. And this goes, and it needs to. I'm gonna work on that so it can get bent into shape there. So that's a cover, and then that would open like that. And we'll decide what we're going to put on the inside. That's our back. Perfect. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Perfect. Okay, so this is video 1 of 52 weeks of Christmas, and this is week 52. This is going to be a 2-part series for you for this 52nd week. And if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, I'd appreciate it if you would. Thumbs up is always appreciated. And I hope you like this little journey we've been on together. So until the next time, I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.